Hey everyone, welcome to the show. If you're new here, my name's Brian Craig, and if you haven't noticed, I'm MAGA. All right, I'm a Trump guy. And if you're not MAGA, subscribe, watch my streams, watch my videos, and you will be. I don't understand why everyone doesn't love Trump as much as I do, but welcome, and we've got a lot to talk about today. Oh man, very exciting, very exciting. Got my coffee together. This is a coffee cup my daughter got me for Father's Day a couple years back. It's a Trump coffee cup. Isn't this nice? It says here, this is last year actually when I turned 50. You are a really, really great 50-year-old, the best, really terrific, just fantastic. Other 50-year-olds, losers, total disaster. Everyone agrees, believe me, said my wife. My wife, I guess, and my daughter got me this last year, which I think was pretty good. Trump coffee cup. Oh, man. Well, we do have a lot to talk about. I'm very excited about Sarah Palin. You know, Sarah Palin's awesome. Let me have some coffee because my throat's a little dry. Sarah Palin is awesome. I remember I watched live when John McCain announced that Sarah Palin was going to run as vice president with him, and I knew her a little bit. Oh, let me turn up my mic, guys. Hold on. Let me turn up my mic just a little. There we go. There we go. All right. Welcome. Okay. Just reaching over here. All right. So I was watching live when Sarah Palin came out with John McCain the very first time. And I thought it was just absolutely amazing when Sarah Palin came out. I knew her a little bit. I didn't know as much about her then as we got to know Sarah Palin. But I saw Sarah Palin a couple times on Fox News debating people over energy policy. And in particular, I remember seeing her on, this was before John McCain announced that she was going to be his running mate. And I saw her on, believe it or not, Neil Cavuto, who I can't stand. And I never watched Neil Cavuto, and I just happened to catch this one episode of Neil Cavuto with Sarah Palin on, and I was impressed with her. I mean, she was unbelievable. She just totally filleted this climate nutcase activist that she was debating, and she's got a lot of knowledge, and she's just spectacular. And when John McCain, Scott, $20 super chat, thank you kindly for that. Everyone, please thank Scott for that $20 super chat. When John McCain announced her, I was very excited. And, now that Sarah Palin has announced that she's running for Congress, this is perfect for a lot of reasons, which I'm going to talk about as the stream goes on here. But one of the biggest problems we have right now in our everyday life are gas prices. Alaska is a major oil-producing state, a major oil-producing power in the world, and she has a lot of knowledge when it comes to oil, energy policy. So Sarah Palin, just based on that, is perfect for our times. But I remember getting so excited when John McCain announced Sarah Palin. She came out with her family. Guys, did any of you catch this live? I was watching it live. It was very, very exciting. And I love Sarah Palin. I always have. She, if you're just not quite aware, she not only announced yesterday that she's running for Congress, she was very specific about it. Governor Sarah Palin announced Friday that she's running for Congress to fill the vacant seat left by late Representative Don Young. Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for the United States House of Representatives, she says. Public service is calling, and I would be honored to represent the men and women of Alaska in Congress, just as Rep. Young did for 49 years. And here she is. There she is. She's coming out of the office. I guess this is her receipt. She's just paid whatever she's got to pay and registered to run for Congress. And let's hope President Trump endorses her. Has President Trump ever had an Alaska rally? Did he have an Alaska rally back in 2016? I cannot remember. But that would be amazing. It would be a frigid cold rally. It'd be an awesome rally, and I would love it. Why would someone not like Sarah Palin? There's a lot to like about Sarah Palin. You know, one of the things about Sarah Palin that you gotta love is that she's a fighter. She doesn't take any crap from these people. She stands up. And, you know, another thing, she kind of fits in the mold of Trump right now. Perfect for a MAGA-endorsed candidate. And I'll tell you why. She has made her money, right? She's loaded now. She's made a lot of money, you know, since the 2008 campaign. She has really no aspirations on future things. She just wants to do something. And she stands up and gets in people's faces. She's a fighter. She's not one of these fake Republicans who, when they're on TV, they tell you this, they tell you that, and then boom. And I think she's spectacular. And the left hate her. And when they went out to destroy her in the 2008 campaign, the main reason they went out to destroy her is because they were threatened by her, because she's good looking and popular, relatable. People like her. And one thing about Sarah Palin you gotta love, because I don't think people really have thought about Sarah Palin too much in a long time. I mean, you know, we haven't seen her since she came out in that funny shirt, really, at the Trump rally, and was kind of foolish during the campaign. Remember that? But Sarah Palin, like President Trump, is not a part of the political establishment of these deep state Republican establishment jerks. That's one of the things that they really hated about Sarah Palin. She went to regular state university. Her parents are not connected. You know, and she made it to become governor of America's largest state, Alaska. And I love Sarah Palin. I always have. No one's perfect. Who's perfect except President Trump, right? But you know, she's spectacular, and they will be in a panic over her. And we'll talk a little bit about this as the stream goes on before we get to some other issues. But I pulled up just a couple of bits from the Katie Couric interview. You guys remember this? Wesley, $5 super chat, thank you. Everyone, please thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. Sarah Palin was the only VP candidate to give their presidential candidate a lead. I love her. Yeah, you know, that's a very good point that Wesley makes. You know, John McCain, don't tar her with the work of John McCain. And some people will say that John McCain lost because of Katie Couric. Who says that? Nicole Wallace on MSNBC? You know, no one was going to beat Obama in 2008, all right? First black man nominated by a major party running after we, you know, had 8 years of a Republican president. You know, Obama was going to win that. Sarah Palin did give a bump and excitement. Her and Joe the Plumber, between Sarah Palin and the great Joe the Plumber. And I pulled up just two clips of Katie Couric, who just hates Sarah Palin like the plague. Now, this is the clip where she's talking to Sarah Palin about her foreign policy experience.
You've cited Alaska's proximity to Russia as part of your foreign policy experience. What did you mean by that?
That Alaska has a very narrow maritime border between a foreign country, Russia, and on our other side, the land boundary that we have with Canada. It's funny that a comment like that was kind of made to, I don't know, you know, reporters.
Mocked?
Yeah, mocked, I guess that's the word, yeah.
Well, explain to me.
Okay, have you ever seen Kamala get questioned like this by a reporter, right? And I'll play more of this, but here's the thing with this. And this came out after this interview. Because she's the governor of Alaska, right? Alaska is very close to Russia and, of course, borders Canada. The governor of Alaska gets national security briefings that most other governors do not get because of the international connection between Alaska, Russia, and Canada, all right? So, you know, that's where that came from. Have you ever seen Kamala Harris asked any serious questions by one of these liberal reporters?
I don't know, you know, reporters. Mocked? Yeah, mocked, I guess that's the word, yeah.
Well, explain to me why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
Well, it certainly does, because our next door neighbors are foreign countries. They're in the state that I am the executive of. And
have you ever been
Russia.
involved with any negotiations, for example, with the...
Let me ask you this, Katie Couric. Have you ever been involved with making sure that Matt Lauer, who you were working with for all those years, would stop abusing women? How about that, Katie Couric?
The Russians?
Yeah. We have trade missions back and forth. We do. It's very important when you consider even national security issues with Russia, as Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of
That's
America.
right.
Where do they go? It's Alaska. It's just right over the border. It is from Alaska that we send those out to make sure that an eye is being kept on this very powerful nation, Russia, because they are right there. They are right next to our state.
Okay. Yeah, now, I know Katie Couric, she hates her. She hates her. She's jealous of Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin got where she was without sleeping with people and without family connections and everything else. This is, why would, now, I want to hear for this. If you want to call me on the stream, let me give out the number. Why would anyone have an issue with Sarah Palin right now? What is the problem? Let me give out the number. It's 561-453-0328. 561-453-0328. Let me put it in the chat. I usually do, but I wasn't going to take calls early on here. But if you want to call in, you most certainly are welcome to call me live on the stream. And I got to put my reading glasses on. I'm going to be 51 years old this month, so you got to wear the reading glasses when you get this age. But if you want to call me and talk about Sarah Palin, I am open to it. 561-453-0328 is the number, and I will pin it right there to the top of the chat. Now, you got to understand now, she's running for Congress, House of Representatives, right? She's not running for president or vice president right now. And what we need, we'll take a call, I guess. What we need are people in Congress that are going to stand up for Trump, MAGA in this country. Hello there, you're on the air live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Oh, hey, Jeff, what's up?
Hey, Sarah Palin is first and foremost a Christian, and she is pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-freedom of religion.
Yep.
America first, and she stands for everything the left hates.
Yeah, and drill baby drill. Remember that? So she's don't forget drill baby drill while we're paying how much for gas these days? I mean, my goodness, $5 in some places and more. Yeah. No, I love Sarah Palin. They hate her. Why would anybody not? You know who else likes Sarah Palin? Donald Trump.
That's right.
That's right. I know. It's exciting.
She's a strong, self-made woman. She didn't make her money in politics. I don't think she can be bought.
Yeah.
I think she is very much like Trump, and she believes in America first and everything he believes in.
Yeah, hold on. Someone's telling me we're having some problems on the phone, so I guess we won't be taking call. I'm sorry. Hey, Jeff, the listeners can't hear your call, so I got to work that out. But I heard you, and you said some good stuff. All right, Jeff, thanks for the call. Sorry, guys, that the phone is not working. I'll see if I can take a look at that. Hold on. Let's see here. I'll have to look at it in a little bit, because I heard him fine. Oh, man. Let me do a quick test here, and then I might have to fix the calls for the stream tomorrow, guys. Let's see here. No, the calls aren't working today. So my apologies, guys. We're not going to be able to take calls today on the stream. You're just going to have to listen to me. But I'll have the calls up and running for the stream tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll be here tomorrow morning. I can't fix it while I am live on the stream. But what Jeff had said in his call that only I could hear, but it was filled with wisdom. He said that she's a Christian. She's pro-life. That's right. She is pro-America. She is pro-America first. And then I was pointing in that she's very, very much in support of the drilling for oil. Remember, drill, baby, drill. So anyway, now here's another clip of the Katie Couric interview. And I found this on YouTube this morning by someone who hates her Palin claims to read all news sources. That, come on, they just hate Sarah Palin.
And when it comes to establishing your worldview, I was curious, what newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the
I've
world?
read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years. I have a vast variety of sources.
Yeah, this is the. What do you read? I got a question for you, Matt. Katie Couric. Who do you sleep with? Right? Remember there was a book that came out about her, about sleeping her way to the top. Katie Couric. That's why she hates Sarah Palin, because Sarah Palin, unlike Katie Couric, got where she was, the governor of our biggest state, Alaska, not by sleeping with men and doing other things. She got there on her own. No family connections, nothing. And Katie Couric despises her because of it.
For this, to stay informed and to understand the world.
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years. I have a vast variety of...
What do you read? Name what you read. You don't even read Sarah Palin. I tell you what I read. Stories about Matt Lauer that you worked with for decades, abusing women in his office next to yours, Katie Couric. How did you not know? Did you not hear the screams? At the Today Show office, nobody hears you when you scream, right? Like Alien?
Sources where we get our news to. Alaska isn't a foreign country where it's kind of suggested. It seems like, wow, how could you keep in touch with what the rest of Washington, D.C. may be thinking and doing when you live up there in Alaska? Believe me, Alaska is like a microcosm of America.
Okay, there they go. So that's Katie Couric. What do you read? What do you read? Oh, my goodness. A lot of conservatives, because I see some people in the chat. I'm sorry we can't take calls today. We'll take calls on the stream tomorrow, everyone. I'm sorry. With Sarah Palin here, okay? I see some people in the chat. She was with John McCain. Okay. John McCain was a disgrace, all right? We found, John McCain is the one, he was behind the fake Russian dossier on President Trump. If you remember, the first time I remember hearing about the fake dossier, and this may be true with you guys too, remember, someone met Senator John McCain in a park in D.C. They arranged a meeting and gave it to him, and he was so upset by it that he turned it over to the FBI. How do you meet a sitting United States Senator and former presidential candidate like John McCain in a park in D.C.? Come on, give me a break. So he's a creep, okay? He's a creep, John McCain, or he was. All right, no doubt about it. But back in 2008, be honest, who'd you vote for? I voted for Sarah Palin and John McCain. We didn't know. I voted for Mitt Romney in 2012. What are we supposed to do? Vote for Obama? All right, both of these guys, John McCain and Mitt Romney, are low-life creeps, but if you were involved in voting in politics and a conservative in 2008, you, like me, voted for John McCain, too, against Obama. All right? So, give me a break. Give me a break. So I don't want to hear these people, oh, she's connected to traitor John McCain. Well, you guys voted for John McCain. We didn't know what he was all about so much then. So we did what we had to do. But, hey, listen, John McCain did a lot of terrible things. But he gave us Sarah Palin. I'll give John McCain. Can you give John McCain credit for doing that? She's running for the House of Representatives, people, okay? She's not running for president. She'll be a MAGA vote. She'll back everything Trump would back. She'll be wonderful. And you know what? She will cause the squad to have a meltdown. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love Sarah Palin. She's great. When she came out... and was announced to be the vice presidential candidate, people I don't think realized, I didn't realize that in Alaska, they have that Fargo-like accent. You betcha, like in Fargo, William H. Macy, the movie. And that kind of shocked people a lot. But she did spectacular. She held her own in a debate against Biden when he was still with it, as opposed to today. She did very good with that, came out of nowhere. Now, I think she's great. I think she's wonderful. And, most of the criticisms that people have of things that Sarah Palin has said or done were not said or done by her. They were said and done by Tina Fey on Saturday Night Live. And Tina Fey was very effective in slandering Sarah Palin and creating a false narrative of Sarah Palin. A lot of people think that Sarah Palin said, "I can see Russia from my house." She never said that. She said, there are parts of Alaska that you can see Russia from. And then Tina Fey said, "You can see Russia from my house." And people actually think Sarah Palin said that. So this is wonderful. I mean, I'm excited about this, and you should be too. That's right. Oh my goodness. People forget. People forget. I mean, if you were a Republican, a conservative voter in 2008, who'd you vote? You didn't vote for Obama. You had to have voted for John McCain. I did too. You do what you got to do. We didn't know then. Yeah, she's very strong. She had that weird. We'll probably start to see this today because they're gonna. I remember they were so desperate with Sarah Palin. Some of the things they did to her. She was gaining in popularity. She was just incredibly popular. I mean, she was a superstar during that campaign. And the mainstream media, they were in such a panic. And what they had this story that when she was in college, she had slept with a basketball player who was black. Do you remember this? They put this out of the press. This is how the mainstream liberal media operate. They think that we're racist, right? They think we're racist, like conservatives are racist. So they say, "Oh, get this story out that when she was in college, she had sex with a black man, and they'll turn against Sarah Palin." What stupidity! What stupidity! I remember one of the mainstream network news they were in was Wasilla, Alaska, and they did this story. They went to the principal of one of the local schools in Wasilla. How many local schools can there be in Wasilla? They probably have K through 12. It's a small town, but remember she was mayor of Wasilla, Alaska, before she was governor. And they go to the school principal and talk to the school principal about how Governor Palin, when she was mayor of Wasilla, banned books from the library of the school. And they had this whole, these books she banned. She was mayor of the city. She wasn't on the school board. She didn't even have any authority over the schools as mayor of Wasilla, Alaska. And they had this whole false narrative that she was banning books from the school when she wasn't on the school board. They were desperate. And they had sent, and remember Larry Flint, the pornographer, the peddler of smut, Larry Flint, who I actually met once. He was a guest on the Steve Kane Show long ago in his solid gold wheelchair. He was, and I'll tell you, Larry Flint was a promoter and profiteer from smut. But when you met Larry Flint in his gold wheelchair, he was a gentleman. I was in shock when I met Larry Flint at how nice it was. But anyway, I mean, a total gentleman. I mean, a class act. He had 2 big bodyguards and everything else. And yeah, I remember our studio was on the 2nd floor of this building, and there was the elevator wasn't working. And his bodyguards actually carried him up the flight of stairs to the studio to be on with the Steve Kane Show. But anyway, Larry Flint made a porno movie that, casting a Sarah Palin lookalike, and it was all about how she had an affair with her husband's business partner. Remember that crap? Can you imagine any of this happening to AOC or being asked questions like this by the mainstream media or Kamala Harris? Of course not. And the mainstream media, this isn't Larry Flint, the mainstream media sent investigators with cash money to Alaska, in particular Wasilla, but throughout Alaska, paying people cash money to say anything negative about Sarah Palin that they could interview And, give me a break. It was, and she got more and more popular. And then Joe the plumber, Obama humiliated himself with Joe the plumber. Remember Joe the plumber? And whenever I'm going to start a plumbing business, which he never did, but I'm going to start a plumbing business and your new tax plan, And Obama started speaking from Mao's Little Red Book. Well, sometimes you got to spread the wealth around. And then Joe the plumber joined the campaign, and it was Sarah Palin and Joe the plumber were the headliners at McCain's campaign, and all the slanders about Sarah Palin didn't work. So then they started going after Joe the plumber. They got his sealed divorce records and put them in the media, which is a crime, and all this stuff. Sarah Palin is amazing. And while we're dealing with super high gas prices, like we are right now, the former governor of our oil superpower state, Alaska, knows all about oil and oil prices. So I think this is just wonderful. And as you can tell, I'm very excited, and it's not just because I'm having coffee. Oh man, can you imagine Sarah Palin in the House of Representatives with Tlaib and AOC and Presley and the rest of the squad? Oh my goodness. Oh man, that would be just insane. And very, very good. That's right. There she is. Sarah Palin. Come on. Who doesn't like Sarah Palin? How can you not love Sarah Palin? Now, the coven of The View was joined in their panel by Chelsea Clinton, guest host, and Chelsea Clinton, who's a very deep voice. Yeah, I know, very deep voice. She attacked President Trump. She's calling conservatives the party of white supremacists. And, I know a lot of times people say, who cares about Chelsea Clinton? Chelsea Clinton is being groomed to be the powerhouse in the Clinton family. They're planning on, they think that she is like a JFK Jr.-like figure, and they're going to have Chelsea Clinton running for Congress, maybe even mayor of New York, something like this. And let me pull this up. She was on with the ladies of The View. Do I have this audio? Let me see here. Let me see if I have the video of Chelsea talking to the coven here. Let's see here.
Next week.
Yes, I do. Okay, I don't watch The View, and I know most of us don't. But when there's a clip on the Twitter, I do check it out sometimes. So Chelsea Clinton has joined Joy and Whoopi and the whole crew.
Next week, the Senate Judiciary Committee is voting on Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah, so here's Ketanji, which really doesn't sound like a name for a Supreme Court justice to me, But anyway, Ketanji here. This is absolutely amazing, okay? We had 2 weeks ago just nonstop stories about how she wasn't just an activist judge who was soft on crime, but how she gave a slap on the wrist to peddlers of child pornography, giving one creep, sicko, psycho, 3 months. And she gave sentences the lightest possible that she could under the law to convicted child pornographers, and it's just like totally disappeared from the narrative, And we were talking about this on the stream, I guess, I don't know, last week or the week before, and there's really a debate going on. Is the child pornography the worst crime there is? I would say, yeah, maybe even worse than murder, right? And Ketanji's soft on them. And there was one aspect of that we never really got fleshed out, and I suspected, I was wondering with Ketanji here, the child pornographers that she let off with a slap on the wrist, one only giving 3 months to, was there a racial component to that? Were they African American? Now, the one that got the 3 months came out and talked to the press, and he is black, and I'm wondering if there was a racial component to her letting these peddlers of the worst smut there is off the hook.
But Senator Lindsey Graham is already showing his hand, even though he voted for her to sit on the United States Court of Appeals.
Well, Lindsey, who I don't trust Lindsey Graham at all. I mean, you know about Lindsey Graham, but perhaps during the last confirmation hearing, he was not aware that she let child pornographers go free. Maybe sometimes you get new information, Joy Behar. You learn something new. And you change your viewpoint on something when you get new data inputted into your brain. Rich says, do I ever take a day off? No. No. No days off. And I've been up since about 3:30 this morning, by the way.
A year ago, he's had a sudden change of heart. Take a look.
After a thorough review of Judge Jackson's record and information gained at the hearing from an evasive witness, I now know why Judge Jackson was the favorite of the radical left, and I will vote no.
What happened to him?
What happened to him? He found out she was letting child pornographers go free. That's what happened, Joy Behar. Jeez. You know, sometimes you've got to be jealous of Democrats because they just don't have a worry in the world. They just don't, nothing bothers them. We worry about things. Our country, our children. They don't seem to worry. What happened to Lindsey Graham? He found out she was letting child pornographers go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. It really is like the invasion of the body snatchers. And I remember a couple of weeks when we...
Well, no one's going to want to snatch their body for hers, I'll tell you that.
...started talking about this. I said I had some hope for Lindsey. Sonny called it right and said, you're wrong on this.
Look at Sonny's face. She's all annoyed.
And the reason I had hope is because I remember talking to Lindsey when Sonia Sotomayor was nominated by...
Now, Sonia Sotomayor was a racist. She probably still is. Sonia Sotomayor is the one that... Isn't she the one who said a wise Latina can make a wiser decision than a white guy? Was that Sonia Sotomayor?
Barack
Obama
was alive in 2009.
Wasn't he?
Yes, John McCain was alive.
Oh, Whoopi's not here. Whoopi's not here. Chelsea's here. We'll get to Chelsea in a minute. Whoopi, that's too bad. I guess Whoopi is out in California trying to save the Oscar of Will Smith.
McCain voted no on Sonia Sotomayor, but Lindsey, who I remember talking to about Sonia Sotomayor at the time, was not into judicial philosophy. He understood that election...
You know what I don't understand about her? She's been in America for as long as I have, right? What's with the accent? What's with the... And she lives in Florida. I live in Florida. How can she have an accent?
Have consequences, and that it was about judicial temperament, and he understood the historical significance of putting the first Latina woman on the court.
Right.
The historical significance of the first black woman is huge, and it's...
Really, what's the historical significance of that? At this point in time, it's not 1972. I'll tell you, it is historic in its significance that a woman who is soft on child pornographers is being put on the Supreme Court. Yes, that is historically significant.
Incredibly disappointing to me that people who have voted in these historical moments before, listen, in 2009, Sotomayor got 68 votes, including Lindsey Graham. In 93, RBG, appointed by your dad, got 93 votes, including Mitch McConnell and Chuck Grassley.
Look at these shoes she's wearing. These gold shoes. Oh, my goodness. Those must be the strongest shoes in town. They got to hold her up.
In 81, Sandra Day O'Connor got 99 votes.
That was before Trump, Trump divided.
Okay, let me, before we get to this, someone says, why watch this trash? Why watch The View? One, I don't watch The View. When something interesting happens or controversial that I talk about, I find it online, and I'll watch and play the clip like I'm doing now. I don't watch the show. But someone said, why watch it? I think it's important to watch the other side to know where they're coming from and their perspective. You don't want to just hear people that agree with you, right? You want to take information. You want to know what the other side are doing, saying, and all about. And Chelsea's going to come in here and share some things.
9 votes.
That was before Trump, Trump divided the country.
They're still living with the consequences of the 2016 election. So,
the consequences of the 2016 election. Yeah, we didn't have an incompetent creep criminal, your mother, as president. That's the consequences. The consequences of the 2016 election. Oh, yeah.
When you're talking about elections have consequences, like Lindsey Graham is still living with the consequences of the 2016 election when Donald Trump ate the Republican Party.
He ate the Republican Party? Donald Trump ate the Republican Party? See, this is why it's important to listen to these people, to the person that said, why you watch this. See, just what you just said? Donald Trump ate the Republican Party. See, it's very nice of Bill and Hillary's daughter to have such concern for the Republican Party, right? When she says that, see, they don't view, I think that we're the party, right? You are the Republican Party. I'm the Republican Party. But not these political establishment people. These political establishment people believe that the party is them, their club, the elected officials, that we are just outsiders that get in their way. So when she says that Donald Trump ate the Republican Party, what Chelsea Clinton is saying is she's talking about the Republican establishment, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, those people. Jeb Bush, G.W. Bush, right? We're not the Republican Party. It's their club in the D.C. Beltway. That's why you got to watch this and listen to these lefties.
Election when Donald Trump ate the Republican Party. He ate the Republican Party. And
He did put on some weight, you're right.
He put on some weight. Look over here.
So, and so Lindsey Graham is.
And what is with this body shaming, by the way? I thought now I know I'm doing it, but I'm one of those right wingers. These are the tolerant liberals. What are they into this body shaming for? Not very tolerant of you, Joy Behar.
Wait, you're right.
And so Lindsey Graham is still living under that specter, under that shadow, or maybe in Donald Trump's belly.
Yeah, in his belly.
It's so true.
I think so.
In his belly. You know, I remember when Chelsea was the first daughter, and she never did interviews, and members of the mainstream liberal media, I remember watching them talk all the time about Chelsea Clinton, and they would say, when she grows up, can you imagine the brilliance of Chelsea Clinton? She's got the DNA of both Bill and Hillary Clinton. She's going to be the most brilliant. This is what the DNA of Bill and Hillary, you know where she got her brain power from? Her mother. Bill Clinton's a lot of terrible things, but he's a smart man. Hillary Clinton's an idiot.
In Donald Trump's belly.
Yeah,
in his belly.
It's so true.
I think so.
I mean, Anna and I have this argument all the time. I always say, why are you still a Republican?
Why are you still a Catholic? You don't agree with that?
Yeah, now I will agree with that. Why is Anna Navarro still a Republican? It's pretty simple. Because she is, Anna Navarro here on The View is the textbook example of what Donald Trump is up against in the Republican Party establishment. She is, Anna here, her thoughts and what she says are mainstream Republican establishment thought. So all these fake Republicans, all these rhinos, I call them, rhinos, Republicans in name only, I call them rats, Republicans against Trump, right? The Mitt Romney types. They think exactly what she thinks. She's just a little more honest when she's on television.
I have this argument all the time. I always say, why are you still a Republican?
Why are you still a Catholic? You don't agree with everything about the Catholic Church?
Yes, but the Catholic Church did not try to destroy democracy in this country. That's very different. We're talking about a political party that doesn't even exist anymore.
What party was Abraham Lincoln?
Your party.
The Republican Party.
Of course, there's been a change.
Of course, there's been a change, she says. What changes? There's been no change. This is, you hear Dinesh D'Souza talk about this. The big lie is that the one day, Republicans and Democrats cannot even agree that the sky is blue, right? They can't. But what they want us to believe is that one day, somewhere back in the civil rights era, the Republicans, all of them, got together with the Democrats, and all the good people that were Republicans became Democrats, and all the evil Democrats became Republicans. Why the hell would they do that? And when did that happen? Where was that? That's a liberal urban legend when they talk about the Dixiecrats. And the Dixiecrats, of which Al Gore's father was a part of, these were Democrat segregationists, the people that were the mentors of Joe Biden when he first came to the Senate. And they left the Democrat Party and became Dixiecrats. Every Dixiecrat, every racist, Dixiecrat went back to the Democrat Party. There were over 20 of them, went back home to the Democrat Party. One of them gave up his segregationist views and became a Republican. Anyone remember who that was? Strom Thurmond. So there were over 22, 22's in my mind, but 22 to 25 Dixiecrats. All but one of them went back to the Democrat Party. Only one became a Republican, Strom Thurmond, and he recanted all of his segregationist views immediately. But they tell us about the big switch that happens all the time. The big switch is a big lie. Oh, man. By the way, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, if you don't mind. And everyone else, if you're already subscribed, please like the video.
The Voters Registration
Anna, what you
Act
have to understand is the Republican Party that you loved doesn't exist anymore.
No, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? The Republican Party that Anna Navarro loves does not exist anymore. That's the Republican Party that lies to the voters. You know, the party of John McCain and Mitt Romney. It's now MAGA, all right?
Party of insurrectionists. It's the party of traitors.
Of traitors? Traitors? Who's the traitors in the Republican Party?
What was that?
White supremacists.
White supremacists.
Did you hear that? Chelsea Clinton. Listen.
What was that?
White supremacists.
White supremacists.
White supremacist. Who's the white supremacist in the Republican Party? Who? You know, the leader of the Democrat Party, his name's Joe Biden. According to the vice president, Kamala Harris, is a racist segregationist. That's not me. That's Kamala Harris said that Joe Biden was a racist segregationist. That's Kamala Harris. I was that girl. He opposed busing, was a segregationist. That's right, he was, and he is. So if you want to talk about white supremacist, your party is being led by one, the Democrat Party. These people.
It's a party of traitors. What was that?
White supremacists.
White supremacists. It's not the party that you love.
What you don't understand is that no matter how much you want it to happen, the Republican Party is not going to disappear. And so in my mind, what we need to do is have two strong, healthy parties competing for your vote and my vote.
You're the only non-loca in the party at this point.
Not true.
Anna, when are you running? When are you running?
I have zero intention of running, but I'm not the only
issue.
non-loca. There's a lot of people who are supporting people like Liz Cheney, like Mitt Romney.
Oh, Liz Cheney. Like Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney. I love it. Don't you love it? Liz Cheney. The daughter of a war criminal, right? The daughter of a war criminal, Dick Cheney. Liz Cheney that they're championing here, right? Liz Cheney, I want you to think about this. When Liz Cheney first ran for Congress, some of you remember this. You know, Dick Cheney's other daughter is gay. And, people forget about that. And when Liz Cheney first ran for Congress, she took weeks to decide whether or not she was going to publicly denounce her sister or not. Dick Cheney might be a war criminal, but he always stood by his daughter. But Liz Cheney had the focus group and do opinion polls and everything else on whether or not she should disown her own sister. She's a low-life person. She's not a person of common decency.
I mean, like Adam Kinzinger.
Lauren Boebert.
Adam Kinzinger. She's got all the... We're the party of Adam Kinzinger. Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney. Oh, my goodness.
Can I submit also that Ben Sass is another hypocrite who also plays the game, and then he's voting against
hypocrites.
Judge Ketanji
The party of
Jackson.
hypocrites. So also,
Well, let me say something that I think we really need to talk about, that because of Will Smith, Clarence Thomas should be sending Will Smith a thank you gift. Because
Really?
what we should have been talking about all week is
true.
the fact that Clarence Thomas needs to recuse himself from any case
Okay, that's
involving
You're wishing.
Okay, see, now this is one of their big things. See, I've been talking about this. You know, if you watch any of the liberal media and hear what the liberals have to say, okay, they're obsessing now over Clarence Thomas. Okay, and what their obsession is, they're using his wife because she sent some text. You know, they're calling her an insurrectionist. Let me tell you, okay, Clarence Thomas is a great man. His wife is a great patriot woman. And Clarence Thomas's wife is one of the original members of the Tea Party back in 2010. Okay? But I love this business that they have going on now, that now again, remember, Clarence Thomas's wife she went to the Trump rally in Washington on January 6th, but she did not go to the Capitol or do anything like that. But let's just say she did, right? Now they're telling, but she didn't, but just for their discussion. They want you to hold Clarence Thomas accountable for what his wife has said? Really? So now people in this is how our justice system is going to work now? We are going to hold people accountable for what their family members do? Are we going to hold Joe Biden accountable for the fact that his son is addicted to crack and hookers? 2 crimes, by the way. This is absolutely amazing. They're in a panic. They're in a panic here. Oh my goodness. This is really a great time. This is really a great time. It's a great time. You might not think it's a great time, but it is. Now, of course, there's this just massive rush to the southern border. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Migrants en route to the U.S. border have used a giant cross as a battering ram to break through the lines of the National Guard. And, Steve Bannon has been doing some really good reporting. He has people down on the border. And, Steve Bannon, there's tens of thousands of illegals massing on the southern border right now, waiting to come through with this, this title, what is it, 42, that Trump put in during the COVID to, with the immigrants down there, with the illegal immigrants. And Steve Bannon has done something which I've not seen anyone else do. He has a correspondent at the U.S. southern border, right, on the Mexican side, covering everything that's going on. But he also has a correspondent at the Mexican southern border, which is amazing because they're not just massing at our southern border. There's a mass migration of soon-to-be illegals at Mexico's southern border coming in. And I've not seen anybody cover it that way before. And he's doing it every day. And he's spectacular. And, listen. What they're doing with the migrants coming in the southern border, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. We are not in power right now. It's just a matter of time before it happens. But it is very important to follow it. Follow it each and every day. I'm sorry, those of you calling, I'm not able to take the calls today for whatever reason. My phone line, I can hear the callers can hear me, but it's not working so far as being connected so everyone else can hear. So I can't take care of that while I'm on the stream live here today. So I'll get the phone line fixed. Okay, I'm going to have to turn the phones off, I think. I'll get the phone lines fixed and take calls on the stream tomorrow. It's just the connection to the YouTube stream is not quite connected, so I'm not going to be able to take the calls. I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to take your calls. I was planning on taking your calls, but I cannot. But no, this is something we've just got to accept to happen. Obviously, it doesn't mean don't talk about it, don't expose it, but this is what's going to happen. And one of the reasons that it's happening right now is because this is one of the few instances where I'll say it's a distraction issue. A lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters think everything's a distraction, right? If I'm checking a text message, he's checking his text. It's a distraction from the real stories. No, not there are many stories, some more important than others. But most times when someone says this is a distraction or that's a distraction, it's not. It's just another story in the news that they don't want to deal with right now. But the southern border mass boom, Brian forgot to pay his phone bill and doesn't want to admit it. No, it's the calls come through on Skype, which is free. There's no bill. It's just the my live stream just is not working right now. That's all. So I'm sorry, guys. There's no phone bill with the Skype. But the southern border issue is most definitely a distraction. But it doesn't mean we're not going to cover it. Because what's going to happen with the tens of thousands of illegals that are going to cross the border, it's going to be complete chaos. And it's going to cause all kinds of chaos that's going to be going on everywhere. And the media is going to be focusing on that as opposed to focusing in on inflation, gas prices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of Democrats just think that they should be able to come over here by the tens of thousands every day. And, this is outrageous. I've been to Mexico many times. How many of you have been to Mexico? Every time I have gone to Mexico, I have to have my documents with me. We take our Steve Kane cruises, which, by the way, we have one coming up in January. You're all invited to. We have our Steve Kane cruises, and we cannot board the ship to go to Mexico without our passports. Can't do it. Now, they don't ask for them when we get to Mexico, but they can. And if you don't have them, you're in trouble. Why do I need documents just to go and have a couple margaritas for a couple hours, right? And they can just come over here and set up a whole new life. But this issue is most definitely a distraction because the chaos that it will cause. And it is a popular issue with a lot of Democrats, and they need something. They need something because they're going into the midterms as complete losers right now. They're losing on every issue. They are also any information on our appearance. Steve Kane and I are doing our first public appearance in over 2 years since before COVID, and it's going to be. I don't want to say because I'm not sure if of the time yet and the exact day, but it's going to be a Saturday this month, okay, here in South Florida at one of our sponsors. So we'll probably start talking about it on Monday, I would imagine, certainly by the end of next week. But we just got to figure out the exact day and the time. I know the day, I'm pretty sure, but it's only 98% sure. I got to check with our sponsor first if that's the day that they want to do for sure. All right? By the way, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. But the Democrats, when I say the Democrats running for Congress, I mean, look, how many Democrats in the House have announced they're not running? It's over, is it 31 now? They're losing. They're losing big. And they're losing seats that they would consider to be safe seats. So there's no good news out there because everything, remember what Barack Obama said about Joe Biden. Everything Joe touches turns to crap. He used another word, but every decision he makes is the wrong decision. And the country's in complete chaos. They're losing even their own supporters, okay, that have been with them their entire lives. Because, gas prices it unifies people like nothing else. Gas prices unifies the people of this country even more so than 9/11 did, because there was a lot of unity after 9/11, but within a week it was gone. Gas prices bring everyone together. And I don't know what it's like in your community, but most every gas station I go to, if it doesn't have a Biden sticker on it saying I did this, pointing to the gas price, I'll see written in permanent marker, F Biden, F Joe Biden. I'm seeing that on gas pumps all over town, everywhere I go. In fact, I've made a couple of videos here on my YouTube channel, one with my MAGA scooter and another on searching for low gas prices. If you watch those, you'll see. I mean, it's just people are defacing gas pumps. They're so pissed. And the people that are defacing gas pumps, those are liberals. Conservatives do not write in permanent marker on gas pumps, okay? So they need something to save as many. They know they're going to lose, okay? The Democrats know they're going to lose, but they're desperate to hold on to whatever seats they possibly can. And this immigration issue will help them, okay? Illegal immigration, a lot of Democrats. Look at what happened this week when Maxine Waters told those homeless people to go home. Remember that at the protest in California? Black people were pissed off at Maxine Waters in her district in California. I mean, that's how bad things are. Maxine Waters getting booed in South LA. Are you kidding me? So they're in big trouble. So that's the southern border issue is without question a distraction. Oh my goodness. Now, this here, look at this. A transgender cyclist was booted from the championship race. Let me pull this up here. Trying to be the next Leah Thomas. A man who this is in the Western Journal. A man who identifies as a woman has been ruled ineligible to participate in a women's championship cycling race in the United Kingdom after female competitors reportedly discussed boycotting the event. Emily Bridges, age 21, competed against other men as Zach Bridges before coming out as transgender in October 2020. He had been planning to participate as a woman in this week's national, Omnium Championships in Derby. However, because Bridges was registered as a man, the Union Cyclist International said he cannot compete against women until his registration as a male expires. Okay, this... I don't know. Is this after the transition or before this picture? I don't know. I've been talking since the Leah Thomas issue has been out there. See, I don't believe that Leah Thomas is transitioning. I believe Leah Thomas, the swimmer, is just a cheater who can't win as a man, so is doing this transgender thing just to game the system, is completely cheating. This cyclist, if that's a recent picture, I don't know. But this cyclist is trying to run the same racket. It used to be, it was like Lance Armstrong had to get doped up with the, you don't have to get doped up anymore. You don't have to run the risk and deal with all those drug tests. And remember when Lance Armstrong did that Oprah interview and he detailed how he gamed the system with the drugs? It's amazing what links. All you have to do now is say, I'm transitioning, I'm transsexual, and all of a sudden you can compete. So Lance Armstrong, that's all he needs to. If he were cycling today, no doping, no drugs. Just say that you're, transitioning, Lance Armstrong. You're Layla, you're Lindsay Armstrong now, and boom, there you are. Yeah, that's right. You're winning all the races as a woman, and Leah Thomas is a cheater. That and eventually that's going to come out And I believe Leah Thomas's records are all going to be tossed and the victories are all going to be taken away at some point. It may be years from now, but at some point that's not going to fly. And when we were talking about this last week, when Leah Thomas was winning those last few races, I was telling people, I was saying, it's only a matter of time before other men who can't win in the men's leagues start saying they're transitioning and try to compete as women. This is the second high-profile one with the cycling. And it's only a matter of time before a guy who's a golfer says he's transitioning and plays with the LPGA. It's only a matter of time. And it's really sad. It really is. And that's another issue where the Democrats are on the wrong side of, and they're really in a minority position with that. And that is not going to do well for them in the next election. Now, of course, I want to take a moment to talk about the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. And if you would like to support my content, my YouTube channel, my podcast, the Steve Kane Radio Show, go to MyPillow.com and buy something with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. All these great deals you're looking at right now at MyPillow.com, you could take advantage of with our promo code Kane, Kane. The MyPillow, My Slippers, 50% off. Right now I have those slippers. The MyPillow Mattress Topper, 50% off with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow, normally $69.98, just $19.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. The MyPillow towels, normally $109.98. I have these towels right now. They are just $39.99 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. I have the blue towels over here. They are just great towels and towels that actually work. That is so true. If any of you have the MyPillow towels, you know that is true. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, 60% off with our promo code Kane at checkout. And of course, when you go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code Kane, you're supporting all the content that I produce, the radio show, the podcast, the YouTube channel, everything else I do. You're also supporting the great Mike Lindell, who is going up against some pretty evil forces, supporting Trump and supporting MAGA. And, Mother's Day is coming up in a few weeks. All of these items here are great gifts for mom on her day, and there's just incredible discounts with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow bathrobe, 30% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. I have the MyPillow bathrobe. My wife has the MyPillow bathrobe, and it would make a great gift for your mom on Mother's Day. And remember, mom includes your mom, your grandmother if she's still with us, your wife if you have kids, and even your daughter if she's a mother. And that MyPillow bathrobe 30% off is just a great gift. And these are gifts that mom will keep for years to come. Don't get her candy. Women don't want to get fat. Don't give them flowers. That's not even a thoughtful gift, and they die anyway. The MyPillow products will last for years and years to come, and mom will thank you. Now, again, all the specials you see here, not just the ones I mentioned, you can take advantage of with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and it would be greatly appreciated. It's a great way for you to support all of my content as well. And when you go to MyPillow.com, you'll see this window pop up to save another $10 off the already discounted price that you will get with my promo code KANE at checkout. So I would appreciate that, guys, and it's a great way for you to support everything it is that I do. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to take off, but I will be back tomorrow, and I will get the phone connected to my YouTube stream here so I can take some calls tomorrow. But I'll tell you this, don't fall into any traps. Don't fall into any traps and do anything other than support the great Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin is awesome. She'll be a great congresswoman. She will freak out the squad. You know who you know who would be really uncomfortable around Sarah Palin? Kamala Harris. Because Sarah Palin made it on her own. It's too bad her and Todd Palin split up. Isn't it? Oh, man, it was too bad that their marriage didn't last. I like Todd Palin, too. Oh, well, hey, listen, I love Sarah Palin. I know you guys, too. And don't forget, we got the big Trump rally tonight, right, in Michigan. Oh, man, this is going to be a good rally tonight because there's a lot going on in the news for President Trump to talk about. And I'll tell you, I saw President Trump in person, up close, just 2 weeks ago. And if you're in Michigan and you can make it to the rally, make it. Go. If you've never seen Trump, at a rally, try to go if you can. I know sometimes it can be difficult, and and weather in Michigan's not like my weather here in Florida. But I'll be watching tonight. I know you guys will too. All right, guys.